Hello everyone, it's Cindy and welcome back to my channel. It's great to see you again, or if you're new here, thank you so much for joining me. Welcome, I hope you enjoy today's video. If you haven't already, do please consider subscribing and hitting the little notification bell to make sure you don't miss out on any videos. So today's video is a replay of Feel Good Friday, which is a live broadcast I do every single week on my Facebook page. And the topic is, well, there's three topics actually, because what I was doing was wrapping up a survey that I had on my page, and I've covered a number of topics one by one, and I'm just wrapping up the last three. So you'll find out more about that in the video, but basically we're covering guilt, motivation and opportunities. It's aimed at mums in business, so if that's you and you think that might be interesting, then just keep watching. Hello everyone, it's Feel Good Friday, and today we're talking about some of the challenges mums face. For instance, guilt, motivation and all the opportunities that might face us when we have a business. This is the last in the series where we've been wrapping up the results from the survey that we had on my page here on Facebook. And we asked mums, what were the most challenging things, and I covered them in order. So I did the most challenging, the most voted for first, and these are just the last three that I wanted to wrap up, so I've put them all together. So that's what we're going to be doing today. In case I haven't met you yet, my name's Cindy Davis. I'm the Feel Good Coach, and I work with mums in business to help them identify ways that they can improve not just how they're running their business and how they're doing their sales and marketing, but also how they can improve their mindset so that they can get more done, have more, be more happy and feel good in their business, and know that their business is doing what they want it to do. So that's me. The aim today, my aim, is to give you practical tips. That's what I'm all about. Something that you can actually do that will help you deal with these challenges in the holidays or any time, whether you've got kids or not. These are all tips that will work anytime. I'm going to cover that in three parts on the three separate topics. We're going to do guilt first, motivation, and talking about what can we do when we've got lots of opportunities and we just want to take them all and we don't have the time. So that's what we're going to do. So that's it. Let's get started and move on to part one, which is all about guilt. So obviously, because I'm covering all three of these things in one Feel Good Friday, it's going to be quite brief on each one, but I have covered some of these things in more detail in other videos. So where I will leave links in the description a bit later, and make sure that you can access all of that information. If you are here watching and enjoying it, do please comment whether you're live or on the replay. Love to hear from you, and let's get into it. So guilt. Yes, this is something I've covered quite a lot because business mums, mums in general, tend to have a lot of guilt. And the guilt that we feel as a feeling in our bodies and as an emotion, it comes from our thoughts. And you may have heard me say before, we have 90,000 thoughts a day, every day, all day, every day, and only 10,000 of those are conscious, which is still a lot. And then a lot of those thoughts, most of them really, are the same thoughts we had yesterday. So they're just habits, they're thinking habits. So the trick is to question those thoughts, because a lot of them aren't true. And they were formed a long time ago when we were very young, and so we decide at a certain point that this is how things are, and we live according to that thought, and we practice that thought a lot, and it becomes what we call a belief. So what the trick to catching a thought that is causing you trouble, like thoughts that make you feel guilty, like I should be doing more, or I should be spending more time with the kids, or I should be spending more time on my business, or I should be doing this, I should be doing that. All those thoughts, they're not helpful, and a lot of the time we're not even aware of them. So how we notice that we've been thinking thoughts like that is the way we feel. So when we feel guilty or sad or upset or angry or fearful, we know that we've been thinking thoughts that have not been serving us. So that's the trick. Then we think, and then you've got to catch the thoughts. You can go rewind a bit, so you notice you're not feeling very good. You think back a little while and go, right, what was I just thinking? What was my thought pattern just now? And quite often you can drag that up from the depths and remember what you were thinking, that internal conversation. The next thing you can do is to ask if that's true. So if you think to yourself, I should be spending more time with the kids, but you're working on your business, you can ask yourself, is that true? Well, who's standing over you, making you, saying that you should? Nobody is. That's you doing that to yourself. Is there a law that says you should be spending more time with your kids when you've decided, you've chosen to spend that time on your business? No, there isn't. Is it true that you should be spending time with your children when you have chosen time to work on your business? No, it's not true. If you've put that time aside to work on your business, then that's what that time is for. And the only reason that you feel guilty is because of the thoughts that have been going on. So questioning those thoughts can start to unravel them a bit and make them have a bit less power. And it's almost like you shine a light on them and we can realise that they're just not helping us. And we look at those thoughts and we know that they're not true. They're just not true. And quite often they fade away because they don't have any power anymore. It always reminds me of the film Labyrinth with David Bowie. And towards the end of the film, when the girl looks up at this goblin king played by David Bowie, and she just says, "You have no power over me," and all of the world that she's in can fall away. Spoiler alert! Sorry, I should have said if you haven't watched the film. Don't think I've given too much away, but everything falls away, and she can see the truth. And that's what happens with your thoughts as well. If you question them, if you just don't take them blindly as true, and we actually look at them and go, actually, is that true? Is that really true? Do I know for a fact that that's true? And quite often that's enough to start to dissolve those thoughts. Obviously, if they're thinking habits, you need to keep an eye out for that and keep doing that. It's an ongoing process. Or you can do something else that's maybe a bit deeper by working with someone who can help you kind of clear that out at the root cause. It's the kind of thing that I do with my clients. And one other thing that you can do for this guilty feeling when we're shoulding on ourselves and saying we should be doing this or that rather than what we're actually doing is to just remember to talk to yourself like your best friend. And this is advice I share a lot because quite often we can be really mean to ourselves. And we talk to ourselves in a way that we would never, ever talk to another person, not even our worst enemy sometimes. So always remember to speak to yourself like your best friend. And if you notice that you've been shoulding on yourself, maybe it's time to be a bit nicer to yourself. So that's guilt. That's the way that I deal with guilt and that I find works really, really well and that I recommend to everyone because, it's not fun to be feeling guilty about stuff. But if you've chosen to do something at a certain time, then, you want to be doing that thing. And so you've got to let go of the other things that you're not doing. And if you watched the week before, Feel Good Friday video, I was talking about how, there isn't really work-life balance. That's just a myth. What we're looking at is where can I take a little bit of time or a little bit of energy from one area of my life if I want to invest more in another. So when you're investing a bit of time in your business, you're always taking a little chunk from somewhere. And that might be from time with your kids, but it might be from something else. It might be from TV time, or it might be from, weekend stuff. But that's your choice. And always remember that it's a choice. So I hope that helps. So that was guilt. Now it's time to move on to part 2, which is all about motivation. Now, the first thing I want to say about motivation is you don't have to be motivated to get stuff done. That's a myth as well. We're busting some myths again today. If you are not feeling motivated to do something, you can still do it. You don't have to wait till you feel motivated. It's more fun if you feel motivated, but you don't have to be. But it always helps, doesn't it? So one of the first things to do if you're not feeling motivated to do something is to ask yourself, why are you doing it? If it's something for your business, why are you doing it? Is it important? Is it going to help you in your business? Is it going to help you to create what you want? And if you're creating a business, why are you doing that? Sort of tapping back into, what is it that I'm doing? Why am I doing this? Not what is it I'm doing, why am I doing this? Because if you can get back into that feeling of what's going to happen, why you're doing it, what the the end result is that you want. What's the feeling you want at the end of it? Do you want to feel satisfied? Do you want to feel secure? Do you want to feel happy? What is it that you're aiming for? Why are you doing it? And that quite often will be enough to get you feeling motivated to do that task, whatever it is. Another really good tip is to take it, quite often we'll take I've talked about this before as well in these videos, we'll take a project and we'll call it an action. So we might say update website and call that an action. And really, updating your website is a project because there's a lot of different tasks, actions that come underneath that heading. You know, you've got to review what you've got. You've got to maybe do some research on what the latest news is on how to do a good website. You might need to write some copy. You might need to find some images. Then you've got to upload it. Then you've got to check it. Do you know what I mean? There's a lot of stuff there. Comment below if you ever do that, if you put things on your to-do list that are really not actions, they are projects, and then you expect yourself to be able to just get it done. Because I do that all the time, and I'm trying really, really hard to stop doing that, but it's a habit that I've had for a long time, and I still catch myself doing it. So if you do that too, comment below and let me know I'm not alone. Even if you're watching on the replay, do drop me a comment. So the key really is to break that thing down. If you're struggling to get started, is break it down into the very, very first step. So, well, into all the steps, but then we're going to look at the first step. So as I said with the website, there's all those different actions that are part of it. And the first one is reviewing your website. And even that might feel like you can't get started on, because you might think, well, I don't really have to review my website. So the first step is to turn on your computer. The second step is to, type in the URL and go to your website. And the third step is to read the stuff on there and see whether you think it's still relevant. So breaking it down into those 3 steps, you can easily get yourself to turn on your computer, whether you feel motivated or not. It doesn't matter, because anyone can turn on a computer. Well, anyone that I know can. You can turn on your computer. You can type in your URL and look at your website. You can do that easily. And that's how you can get started, even if you don't feel motivated with any task whatsoever. There's also another way of doing it that works for some people, which is the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, which I've got a video on my YouTube channel, and I will remember, hopefully, to put a link here for you for that. And that's called something like how to get yourself to do anything even if you don't want to. And then in that I share this technique called 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, which comes from a book by Mel, somebody I've forgotten her name. Anyway, I will try and remember to put the link here. If I don't, you'll find it over on my YouTube. So, where was I? Yes, so 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 is also a great technique to use to get yourself started. But I always recommend break things down into the smallest parts to make it as easy as possible for you to do it. And then it doesn't matter if you're motivated or not, you can just do it. And then the other way that I like to, the other side of motivation is if I want to get myself to do something and I really don't want to do it, I have to make it fun. So I trick myself into doing it, and I'll give myself little checklists to fill in, or I'll have a little, I've been known to have like a sticker chart for myself and give myself little gold stars every day for doing something. I will put my favourite music on and do it, if it's that sort of task, do that with my favourite music on. I will do it on the move if I can. If it's something I can do like that, then it'll be something that I can do when I'm out and about and make it feel like it's not so onerous. So making it fun is always good. The other thing I'd like to do is I have lots of colouring pens here on my desk, and I will quite often get my colouring pens out and do, a mind map or something to help me get started, get clear, and that will motivate me to do stuff that otherwise I might not do, because I don't really enjoy planning, or at least I didn't used to, but I make it fun, and I have to adapt the way that people who are not like me do planning to suit me so that I feel motivated to do it. So that's motivation. I hope there's loads and loads of different tips in there. So you might want to rewind the video, watch it a couple of times to get all the tips. because I am obviously whizzing through it. We've got to cover a lot in just 20 minutes and time is whizzing by. So we've talked about motivation, that was part 2. Let's move on to part 3 now, which is what do I do when I've got loads of opportunities coming my way for my business and I've only got a certain amount of time? What do I do with that? How do I decide what to do? How do I choose? So the first thing I want to say about that is beware of shiny things. Quite often we can be, scrolling through Facebook and a very well targeted ad will find us and it looks like it's written specifically for us, which is what good marketing is about. And it's trying to sell us this new way of doing, social media or marketing or sales or something to do with your business. It will be something probably money related. So it's going to be pulling on that really intense kind of string that we all would like to make a bit more money. So those posts will find us and we'll read them and think, oh yes, this is what I need. I need this to help me. I need this to move me forward. I need this one more thing. The trouble is what happens is there's always more things, because there's lots of very intelligent people out there creating brilliant solutions, and I'm not saying they don't work, but you have to pick one and go with it. The problem comes when we see all these different things and we go, oh, I'm going to try this thing, and we do that for a little bit and you don't get instant results, and then you see another one, you go, oh, I'm going to try this thing, this looks really good, this is the thing I need, and then we do a bit of that for a while, but it doesn't give us instant results, so we go, oh, there's this other thing, this is the new best thing, this is the latest thing, this is the thing I need. And the trouble with that is, your energy is just all over the place. Where you're investing your time and your energy, it's just not consistent. And consistency is really one of the main things about being successful in business. We have to be consistent whatever we're doing. And so if we're running after this shiny thing and then this shiny thing and then this shiny thing, what happens is we're not being consistent. We keep chopping and changing. And that can be a real problem. So when we're talking about opportunities, just beware of shiny things. Just check in with yourself. Is this a shiny thing? Because if it is, you want to think twice. Another way to help when you've got lots of opportunities coming your way is to think to yourself, is it going to make the boat go faster? Will it make the boat go faster? Now, I can't remember, there's a book called that by an Olympian, a rower, I believe. I can't remember his name for the life of me. But if you look for Will It Make the Boat Go Faster, that's the name of the book. And it's basically they were told by their coach that they would have to ask themselves about every single thing they did, will it make the boat go faster? Because that's all that was important for that Olympic rowing team. Will it make the boat go faster? And that's a brilliant question to ask yourself. If you get a shiny thing come along, or a new opportunity perhaps to do some speaking or to go to a different networking or whatever, ask yourself, will it make the boat go faster? Anything you're going to invest your time or your money or your energy into, will it make the boat go faster? And by making the boat go faster, of course, what I mean is, will it get me towards my goals? Will it move me towards my financial goals? Will it move me towards my growth goals for my business? Will it move me towards my spiritual, my emotional, my relationship, my family goals? Is it going to make the boat go faster? Absolutely brilliant question. Ask it often. And the last way to deal with if you've got lots of opportunities coming in and struggling to decide what to do or whether you want them or not, is to just check in with yourself. Just sit quietly and see how they feel. If you feel a bit nervous, that might be a good thing or a bad thing, but you've got to check in with yourself. Does it feel good? Does it feel bad? Are you doing it thinking about doing it for the right reasons? Really checking in with yourselves. Every week in my, I have a VIP client group here on Facebook, and every week I pull one of these wisdom cards. And it's a surprise for all of us because I do it facing the camera like this, so I don't actually know what's going to come. And this week it's discipline. And it's about showing restraint and dignity where others tend to show excess, and guiding you to train yourself to be disciplined and setting up life-enhancing habits, sensible routines, creating methods and systems to promote an appropriate way of operating. And all of that is the stuff that you'd be doing when you've got these opportunities and you need to check in with yourself. It's that discipline of not just herring off after the next scheme, but taking some time to really ask yourself if it's the right thing. And deep down, you know. And if you make a mistake, it doesn't matter. That's okay too. You know, mistakes are things that we learn from, and there's no such thing as failure. That's what they always say, isn't it? And it's true, because whenever something fails, you've learned something. And as long as you take that learning into account and act on it, then you've lost nothing. Absolutely nothing. So that's how I recommend dealing with lots and lots of opportunities when you don't know what to do with them. That was part 3. So now we're going to move on to the bit where I pull it all together for you, because we are getting to the end of the week, already at the end of our time, so I'll have to be quick. So my aim, so far I've covered the guilt, and we've talked about questioning those thoughts and talking to yourself kindly like your best friend. I've talked about in the second part motivation, how to get things done. Well, you can get things done even if you don't feel motivated. But if you want to feel motivated, you ask yourself why you're doing it, and you can make it fun. So those are some really good ways of getting motivated. And in the third part, we talked about the opportunities and how we can sift and filter through them and find the ones that are right for us and why that's important. So my aim today was to give you practical tips to help you deal with all these challenges that had been identified in my survey. So thank you so much for everyone who voted. I hope you found this series of videos useful. I've enjoyed making them. It's been really good to have this focus for my videos. So if you haven't already and you're watching this somewhere else or you've seen it pop up and you haven't already liked my page, do please like it. And that way you will get notified every time I upload one of my videos or a post or anything, but also you will get notified when I'm going to be going live, which is every Friday morning, UK time, 9:30. And we'll be talking about some kind of tip that will help you in your business, but also feel good. And I love I strongly believe that we're supposed to feel good. Life's supposed to be fun, even when we're working. And if it's not, then there's stuff we can do about that. And that's the stuff I share right here on my page. So next week, if you'd like to join me live, I'll be interviewing my second expert in the series. It's Rachael Blackmore, and she's going to be talking to us about relationships. And I'm talking to her about relationships as in, you know, with our significant others and our family, and also broader relationships too. And our role within our relationships, if there's something we want to change, what do we need to do ourselves? So very much focused on what we can do, always going to be practical tips as usual. So if you're interested in that, then do please make sure you've liked my page. And look out for the video next week. Have a fabulous day. And I'll speak to you in the next video. Take care. So I hope you enjoyed the video and you found it useful. It is packed with tips, so you might need to go back and write them down or something, because they're all good and they all work and they're all practical things that you can do. So as I mentioned at the end of the video, I will be talking to Rachael Blackmore next week. It was actually planned for earlier in the year, but we had to postpone it. So I'm really excited to interview Rachael. She's my relationship expert, and I'm going to be grilling her all about relationships. If you have any questions you'd like me to ask her, then do please write them in the comments down below, and join us next week. If you want to be in the conversation live, then you'll need to be on my page at 9:30 UK time on Friday the 22nd of September, which is my son Matt's birthday. So hey Matt, have a nice birthday. And if you don't want to join us live, you can catch the replay on my Facebook page. As long as you've liked it, then you will get a notification. And if you don't want to do that, then you can just hang around here, and after a few days I will edit the video and upload it here for you, and you can just relax and watch it. So it just remains for me to say thank you for watching. I hope you have a fabulous day, and I will see you in the next video.